I tell like my dad or whoever they speak to, it's all on us, not anybody else. Like whoever the hell joins, you guys can't give us success. We have to really want it and develop ourselves to get that.
Darwin, I
Yes, sir.
wanted to congratulate you, my friend, on our July 2024 Agent of the Month. So big congratulations to you.
Thank you.
For context for everybody else, why have you been chosen? And you just closed your first, I think it was about a $200,000 annuity. First one, it's taken about 6 months. But in that time, there's been this real incredible growth. And it's really been driven, Darwin, by you because of your effort, your ability to follow the process, your dedication, your asking questions, recommitting. And so that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. But before we do, again, we're going to get to that in just a moment. Let's go back to the very first interaction. Do you remember how you heard about us in the first place?
Oh yeah, 100%. I was bombarded by Facebook ads, and I loved it. Every time I would see Jim, I'd be like, man, this seems like something that I want to be part of.
What stood out to you? Do you remember?
Well, I mean, just the way that he delivered the message. It wasn't really like salesy, pitchy, or anything. It was more of like a way for an agent to develop himself, and that's what I really like. That's the message I obtained from it, because the way he said guaranteed results, I mean, it sounds really good, right? Guaranteed. But there's a lot more that goes with that guarantee. And that message was just speaking to me. And it was speaking to me for months. It wasn't just like instantly. Like I made the decision, right? It took me a while to start, but I kept seeing it. So, yeah, I still remember.
So 6 months in, if we can answer that question really briefly, but do you feel like that promise has been delivered on, the development that you were looking for?
Well, yeah, 100%. I mean, the growth that from where I was when I first started to where I'm at now, I mean, I can definitely guarantee that I have grown. I'm a different person, not only like in my own life, but like, professional life as well.
Before we get into more depth on that, which again, we're going to get there, before you joined Juicebox, can you speak to the folks in Agent Shift and in our broader community? What was the biggest challenge in your business before you got on board with us?
It was more of a system, like a belief system, but not only that, a system of being able to deliver. Like all the trainings that Juicebox offered helped me develop that belief in order to be able to sit down with a future client and remove all the salesy kind of pitches and more deliver for their specific needs.
It sounds like before you came in, you had this expectation that you were a salesperson and you've developed into a retirement income professional. Do you think that's a fair characterization?
Well, yeah, 100%.
I think we should get the elephant out of the room, and it's something that I mentioned at the very beginning. It's taken you 6 months to close a deal, your first deal, which again just closed, I think, a few weeks ago. And so that's in part the reason that you've been nominated for the Agent of the Month, which of course represents all of the work and the effort that you put in over those 6 months. Can you tell me, why do you think you were struggling to close for those first 6 months?
Well, I come from an environment of kind of like boiler room status. Like you got to sell, like one call close type of sales, right? So I believe that when I was hopping on those calls, I was really like trying to do what's best for the client, but not really in the process that I was supposed to do it. Like I know our products, what we offer, is gonna place a client in the best situation they can possibly be in. But my approach was completely flipped around. I was still in that mindset of selling instead of solving issues.
What was the trigger point to change from the old Darwin to now closing business?
I had the opportunity to sit with Jim, and we had a one-on-one call. And the way that he made me realize my approach, the way that I was approaching stuff was completely different, meaning because it was a very unique conversation that we had.
And I said, the most rewarding thing that I get as a coach is when people follow through. And you followed through. You followed through on that exact conversation, a very similar conversation I was just having with John, but maybe you can just share, and maybe it's just a sentence, whatever comes to mind of what the other side of implementing what we were just talking about. What is it? how has it shifted how your approach is, and what has it done for you? I think it connects with you because I know you and I had that exact conversation a little while back, and now you got a lot of momentum.
Well, I mean, it's like multiple words due to that conversation. I would say just take ownership and accountability of doing what you need to do. For me, it's different because that conversation, you gave me an action step, right? So what I did was I took the accountability, and instead of just saying, well, not doing what I'm supposed to do and testing it out, on the next call, very, very next call, I just went ahead and did it, and it worked. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing else to it. It was just that shift, that one thing that you told me, that one conversation we had completely changed every call that I hop on now. It's a whole different conversation that I have with people.
Well, are you comfortable?
What's
the one thing? What was the one thing, if you could articulate that?
Project it into the future and then bring it into the present.
Got it. That is based on what we were just doing with John, is you wave a magic wand. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? Okay, great. Where are we now? Do you feel like where you are now, what you're doing right now is definitely taking you there? Okay. Well, that's what we need to get clear on first, right? Is that about right?
Yeah, 100%. Because every call, everybody hops on thinking they know like exactly what they want or they know where they're at. But once you really project it into the future, they themselves start seeing like, well, maybe I don't know where I'm at. And it really it's easier to have that conversation because I guess they are the ones that start telling you exactly what they want or exactly what they believe they want. So it makes your job much easier to really just continue with the flow of the conversation. There's less resistance, right? Either way, that like I was still trying to help the client, but my main focus was like, oh man, I gotta sell. Like that was my number one thing. I gotta sell, right? When I decided to really, remove that and not worry about the sell and really put the care on the client and himself, and project into the future and then bring it back so they can see their specific situation and have them tell me versus me telling them, that's what completely changed everything for me. And it was on that one call that I had with Jim.
Now that you've made that switch, and now that the dam has broken, what is your expectation on an ongoing basis? What do you expect to close moving forward now that you've got that identity as a retirement income sales professional?
Well, characterizing now, it's not even income wise no more. It's more of how many people can I help? How many people can I put in a better position? Right? More how many people can I actually speak to and like really understand their current situation and, help them develop their own mindset so they can see that the grass is greener on the other side.
With that in mind, helping others, your fellow agents in Agent Shift Plus, annuity campaigns, partners, the broader community, what are the lessons 6 months down that path? What do you want to pass on to them to speed up their journey so they're earning more quicker, they're helping more people, they're serving more people faster? What's the lesson that you want to pass on?
The lesson that I would pass on is, remove all expectations. Don't have any expectations whatsoever. Truly don't, right? And set time aside after you watch, a couple trainings, sales calls, whatever it is that is helping you develop. Go back and watch it again. Then a week later, go back and watch it again. Even 2 months later, before you hop on another call, before you go ahead and start dialing, or you're going to do a forecasting call, planning call, solution call, whatever it is, go back and watch those trainings and then jump on your call, right? I think that's the number one thing that if I could do it all over again, I would start doing that again.
If you could speak to, out of all of the tools and the resources that you've been provided at Jucebox, that includes, of course, coaching and training and, the calls and the forecaster and presentations, scripts, you name it. Can you identify, if you only could choose one, what's been the one most important thing to generate the results for you, to flip the switch for you?
Oh man, that's hard. It's hard to really choose one. But I think, it's between the sales calls and coaching calls, because it's live and you're able to interact, right? and just bringing cases. I mean, sometimes I think as a newer agent, you run across like people that have, you know, a good amount of money, have saved up for retirement, right? You don't know what you don't know, and you need to utilize the right tool for the right job, right? So I believe going back and hopping on these sales calls and coaching calls and asking for that help really does, you know, help you develop that confidence in yourself, knowing that you're able to deliver for another human being.
Really powerful. If you had to speak externally, you're talking to the person who's like you, they were around the Juicebox ecosystem for a while, a few months. On the other side, what do you say to that person who's considering working with Juicebox?
I would say stop thinking about it. And, you know, if you already hopped on a call and you already spoke to somebody, might as well just jump in and do it, right? You can't expect results right away. Everybody's success is different. You might be quicker than others, but overall, the growth that you're gonna have from the moment that you start to the moment that you actually start closing deals is completely, I just jump in.
And Darwin, just so you know, I see that change in you. Now, speaking 6 months later, I see you as the professional. I see you with that confidence and that service attitude. And so that to me is a reward. And I know the journey's just beginning for you. So
you have no idea, like, talk about emotional roller coaster, man. It's been a hell of a journey, but I tell like my dad or whoever I speak to, you know, it's all on us, not anybody else. Like whoever the hell joins, you know, you guys can't give us success. We have to really want it and develop ourselves to get that. You know, even though it hasn't been the greatest at the start, I can see it now. I really do.
Thank you so much. A huge congratulations. This was such a powerful conversation, and I'm just so grateful that you shared, and that, again, a big congratulations on being our Agent of the Month for July of 2024.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys for all the help you guys have given me.